Hey guys, I'm back. Quick update, and I want to debunk some of the stuff I've been hearing on some co-intel pro channels like Suspicious Observers and WSO. Briefly debunk. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but anyway, I want to show you that the Earth is still experiencing this pockmarked cloud phenomena, which I contend is directly attributed to some kind of electromagnetic resonant connection between our planet and this nemesis, second binary twin sun, and our sun. It seems like we're caught in the middle somehow, and this is what's showing up on the cloud patterns worldwide, at least for the last, I'd say, 2 months or so, maybe 3. But anyway, so we'll zoom it in a little bit for you there. Show you that we're doing this. It's doing the same thing here on Helium Viewer. This is the current date and time UTC. You can see on the SOHO sun satellite photograph at 304 angstroms from the EIT instrument. Here we have the magnetic resonant grid pattern showing up. Also on the 195, it shows up quite well. And then, as I've showed you before on previous videos, we can pick it up also on the 94 angstrom from the A1A instrument and the 335, I believe it is. Yeah, 335 angstrom. So there you have that. So I think what's happening that we can directly see from weather effects are with the magnetic connections. Sometimes they spin up tornadoes, or a new meteorological term that they've come up with, a the land spout, which that's pretty much unheard of. Probably have all seen this Firenado video from yesterday, shot on the Colorado River for the Mojave Desert Fire. Now, I think that's directly connected to this magnetic connection phenomena, able to make this thing spin up the way it did. I've never seen anything like this before. What about you guys? Okay, then we have, here's what I want to debunk. If you watch the Suspicious Observers today, he explains this IMF reversal on the phi angle as being a connection from Earth to the Sun. Well, anyway, he misstates it, because as I showed you before, and we're going to go there again, when it's around 180 degrees, that means the phi angle is from the Sun to the electromagnetic IMF connection is from the Sun to the Earth. Then we have this gap here. Then all of a sudden it switches up to the 360, which indicates something behind the Earth is electromagnetically connecting with a magnetic field line to the Earth. Then you have this serious fluctuation here, which is when Earth being caught in the middle between Nemesis and our Sun at the 180 degree. We didn't know what to do. Sometimes Earth was trying to connect with the Sun, and Nemesis was connecting to the Earth. Nemesis was connecting to the Sun, or vice versa. and then it went back to a straight, pretty much sun to earth connection. So here's Suspicious Observers. I'm not going to play it because I don't want to get a copyright strike, because I know he would be quick to do something like that. But anyway, if you go to 652 mark of his video today, he indicates that the phi angle is coming from the sun to the earth, which is true. And he explains this sudden shift as it reversing itself and going from the earth back to the sun, which is not true, because, and here's why that's incorrect, because as you can clearly, as I've explained before, this is from the to Space Weather Solar Ham sort of an update tutorial, and going on to what does the phi angle mean. Okay, well, it's an interplanetary magnetic field line, the blue lines, which I'll show you on the magnetopause and magnetosphere y-cut. Actually, the magnetosphere y-cut, it's being carried by the solar wind. It's measured by GSM, geocentric solar magnetospheric coordinate system. In this system, the x-axis points from the Earth to the Sun. Okay, so picture the Earth to the Sun. The z-axis is pointing along the direction of the Earth's north magnetic pole. So that would be like going from the top of the Earth down to the bottom of the Earth, slicing through. So this puts the y-axis roughly pointing to the left as one looks at the Sun from the Earth. So the phi angle is made up on the xy plane. So that would be the plane from the Earth to the Sun, and then out 90 degrees away from the Earth on a flat plane, sort of equatorial plane. So the phi angle would be 0 degrees if it were pointing at the Sun from the Earth, and 180 degrees if it were pointing from the Sun to the Earth, which is what I showed you up here that Suspicious Observers Ben Davidson tried to explain. So we got the phi angle coming close to the 180 degree mark. So that means it's coming from the Earth to the Sun. Then all of a sudden it starts dipping. So it's losing connection. Then all of a sudden, boom, jumps back up here to around the 360 mark. And this would indicate something behind the Earth, which they don't even mention because it's not supposed to be possible. And then it also indicates that sudden and rapid change in the phi angle in conjunction with increased solar wind speeds and BZ fluctuations is common during a CME impact, which none of which are the case. Okay, so here we got the y-cut, magnetic, and there's the magnetic field lines indicated in blue. So the y-cut is sort of like a cross, is like a section cut. Pretend that this is the Earth, of course, and pretend we're standing like right out here in front of it, like right where my face would be in front of this computer screen, looking across that way on the equatorial plane. There's the z-cut, which was mentioned in this article. That goes z-axis pointing along the direction of the Earth's magnetic pole. Okay, so the z-axis is looking straight down on the planet. So we're interested in this y-axis and the phi angle. And I'll just let this play through a little bit to show you what's going on as of late. It's not looking good, guys. We have a whole ton of energy pouring in to the Earth, and it's all mostly electron energy. These two things down here, which they have the measurement things turned off as usual. I've never seen them on, actually. But anyway, this is measuring the lowest form of the lowest energy, low energy electrons that are flooding the Earth. This is the geosynchronous orbit around the planet. You can see the satellites going around here. Representation of same goes 13, 14. Those are the weather satellites. So they're going around here, and all this low energy electron counts are bleeding in and surrounding the planet, as you can see. Now I have these two electron count monitors synced pretty much along with these, which are all synced. There you can see. And also getting a ton of high energy electrons flooding the planet. This is the highest high energy electron count representation. So how I read it is the low energy electrons are ones that are moving slower, and the high energy electrons are the ones that are moving faster, and then they have different counts in between these high and low counts. But as you can see, the planet's getting bathed in energy. Oh, I don't know if anybody, this is like a shot of my subscription page, which is what I check every day. One came up on a severe coastal flooding event in Mallorca, Spain, and they're attributing it to a meteo tsunami, one of those new weather terms that the weather shills put out so easily that are supposed to explain all these extremely extraordinary events. But in my opinion, that would be, if the water's piling up on the Spanish coast, it must be receding somewhere else. There's that video I just showed you from the suspicious observers. All the volcanoes been going off like crazy. There's like 44 in the current eruption phase, and a whole bunch more that are in the warm phase. Normal volcanic eruptions is around 10 to 20. So that's pretty crazy. The lightning, I'm sure some of you may have noticed that even where you live, the lightning's becoming extreme, and that's because the electron counts are way up from this Nemesis system. And getting to my last point here. Okay, WSO put out a video last night. Is Earth repelling Planet X's advances? And certainly, of course, it is. No doubt, with the magnetosphere. But he had this catfish guy on, Eric Gregg, and basically they've surmised that it's tied in with the Schumann resonance. You can see that the Schumann resonance is fluctuating in a 6 degree or hertz fluctuation, and then they pointed out 666, which was interesting. They didn't really elaborate on that too much. But anyway, according to them, we are little magnets, and we all resonate at 7.83 hertz, which is matched to the Earth, 7.83 hertz. So if everyone takes their shoes off and goes outside barefoot, we're going to help the Earth strengthen its magnetic influence and repel Planet X. Come on, man. Enough with this metaphysic mumbo jumbo, Steve. Come on, dude. You said you were a Christian. I don't think so, bro. Or not, bro. And so you guys decide. Time is short. Things are wrapping up. Things are getting worse space weather-wise. And either take your shoes off, go outside, and walk around barefoot to repel this Planet X thing, or seriously consider that Christ Jesus is who he said he is. Get into the Word, read the Gospel of John prayerfully, asking God to reveal his self and his salvation to you, and he most certainly will. That's a guarantee. All right, guys, I love you in the Lord. Thanks for listening to this update. Peace out.